Hello. Great to be here. I've been following your teachings about 4.5 years, and I believe I'm going to talk fast for the heck of it. And I believe I've assimilated the material very well, and it, of course, has changed my life greatly and positively. Great appreciation, great appreciation. Still have many questions. I feel like Jerry sometimes. Perhaps not fundamental questions, but more periphery ones. I have questions after questions. Jerry got to do 5,000 before he actually came in, if you know what I mean. And it seems like there's a lot of them. And
Take us to a new place, then. Ask one.
All right. You explain meditation works so well because in the dropping of thought, we drop resistance, as most of our thought is resistant in nature. It is thought that is occurring in higher emotional vibrations less resistant. True vibrational love is non-resistant, correct? So it's possible to reach total non-resistance in physical existence. What would the world be like with no resistance among any of us? In non-physical, there is no resistance, correct? Is one of the secrets of life the constant dropping of resistance?
You might want to take a breath between questions. You see,
I'm trying to be empathetic with everyone else in the room.
But you see, what you're demonstrating, this was really good. Because this is the way so many of you do, where you ask, and then 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 you ask, and you just hold yourself in step one, step one, step one, step
versus
one, step
looking
one.
for signs.
And step two, can't get a word in edgewise.
Right. Well done.
Because you can't be in the asking mode and the receiving mode at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So what should I be receiving right now? How can I balance that out more? I obviously ask plenty, we all have many lifetimes.
The big question that is radiating from you is resistant in nature. And the question is, why am I not there? Or how can I get there? Or what's missing? What it really is a much too practical approach, a sort of clamoring for the answer instead of an acceptance that the answer is there. And in silence, as in meditation, there can be the receiving of the answer. And, it's interesting because when you ask and then relax with and knowing that the answer will come, what happens is the universe finds a way to yield it to you. The reason we teach meditation is because it is easier to teach you to quiet your mind altogether than to find pure positive thought on all those subjects where you've practiced otherwise. So, yes, in answer to one of your questions, it is possible to be in physical form and be in a state of absolute allowance, in other words, resistance-free. That is, in fact, what a moment of appreciation is. What would happen if you achieved a state of only appreciation? Well, what would happen is you would then become a constant reaper or manifester of the stuff that your former life had put into vibrational escrow. But there would not be further expansion without contrast. However, you can get so good at asking and allowing and asking and allowing that you open the gap and close it and open the gap and close it and open the gap and close it, that those watching you would not ever be able to discern anything other than confident, loving, secure, appreciative emotion from you. But you will always be able to distinguish the difference between what you have recently become and your in-the-moment ability to keep up with it. In other words, if you could immediately croak and move into the non-physical energy where we are, you would discover that as far as a physical perspective of where we are, it would be absolutely resistance-free. You don't even have the ability to measure the resistance of non-physical from your physical format. The fine-tuning is that fine. But we still have contrast, you see. And so you who are exploring the more dramatic contrast are causing more dramatic expansion. And you will catch up with it, as we have when you have your croaking experience. We like that disrespectful word because there is no death, so we try to disrespect it as much as we can. When you have that withdrawing from the physical experience and you reemerge into non-physical, you'll be up to speed with who you are. And the relief of the death experience is beyond verbal description. The suddenly coming into knowing of your value and shedding all at once all of your insecurities. It's worth croaking for. But we don't think you should have to croak in order to do that. And we want you to incrementally do that, you see. And so we want to emphasize with you, and you've been listening to us long enough that you know this, that your contrast has caused you to ask for a lot, and Source has been answering it. And every process that we offer is to cause you to focus in a way that will allow what you've been asking for. So the story that we would begin telling if we were standing in your physical shoes is this. We would say, I love asking questions, and I love feeling answers coming. Today, Jerry said to Esther, as they were playing about something, and Jerry said, did you know that before every solution comes a problem? And Esther said, ooh, it sort of makes it worth it, doesn't it? In other words, solutions feel so very good. Don't you love solutions? Jerry and Esther do. They like solutions so much that they create constant problems. And, well, we mean that in a good way, because without a willingness to expand and to recognize that there's something that you don't know, you couldn't come to know more. And the best story that we tell about that is the vacation that you plan. And you say, I'm at home and I'm going to go here, 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 and then I'm going to eventually come back home. And then you look at it objectively and you say, wait a minute, I am home, and home is my final destination. Why go? I think I'll just check this vacation off my list. And so we want you to realize that there is a desire on your part to explore and expand vibrationally because, and here it is, it's a statement that we want you to hear. It's what you were born to know. Because the catching up with my vibrational expansion is the zest of life. In other words, you can't catch up with somebody else's expansion. You can only catch up with your own. There is no joy that exists outside of letting yourself physically become that which you have vibrationally already become. You see, there is no joy that exists anywhere in the universe that is other than coming into alignment with who you are. Alignment is what you are reaching for, you see.
Can the asking and answering from a non-source perspective be embodied in one person in a very high vibrationally balanced way?
No, because you can't ask and receive the answer at the same time. It's two different moments in time. But you can ask in one moment, get yourself in alignment, and receive the answer in the next. But you can't do step 1 and step 3 at the same time. No one can. And that's what goes wrong with most of you, and that is really what's obvious here, because you are so full of the questions that you hardly take a beat to receive the answer. And the universe is so lined up to answer you. So if you could begin saying things such as, I've asked, and now I'm ready for the answers. And I'm enjoying the rhythm of a question, an answer, another question, an answer, another question, another answer, another question, another answer. And there are endless questions, and that's good, and there are endless answers, and that's good, and there are endless problems, and that's good, and there are endless solutions, and that's good, and all of it is joyful expansion. You would unclog this sort of blockage is too strong of word, but you are intellectual, and you like the articulation and the pondering of things. But when you ponder in the absence of an answer for a while, you get so used to the feeling of that non-answer that you train yourself into the familiarity of the vibration that doesn't allow the answer. Ooh, that was good. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why children learn so much faster than most adults. They're not polishing their questions.
And not really even waiting for an answer? In other words, just question. No, that's my thing. Question.
Question, pause. In other words, it's like saying, I really want to know, I don't know, 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 really want to know, I don't know, I really want to know, I don't know, I really want to know, I don't know, I really want to know, I don't know, really want to know, I don't know, I 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 really want to know, I don't know,
I get it.
And every time you say, I really want to know, this is the interesting thing. You build up attention within you because every time you really want to know, Source puts it there. So you really want to know, step one, bam, bam, step two. And you've expanded. Every time you ask, you expand. But every time you ask, you don't go where you expanded. Ooh, every time you ask, you expand. But then when you ask again, you don't go where you expanded. Every time you ask, you expand. But every time you ask again, you don't go where you've expanded. Sometimes people say, Abraham, now that I know you, it's like all this stuff was lined up outside my door. And I opened the door a crack and whoa. People say, is it normal for all hell to break loose in one's life when they begin doing this work? And we say, it is a little bit like you've pulled a rubber band back. And when you let go, you really fly far, you see. It's just a matter of trusting. And we know trust and the word faith, they're so annoying. But we want you to trust in the system, trust in the law, trust in our knowledge that your vibrational escrow is brimming. Trust that it's there, and then do everything in your power to get in there. And we don't think asking another question feels like it's getting you in there.
I was just thinking that.
Asking another question just sort of nails your feet to the floor where you are. But. When you're trying to get into the escrow, you're trying to imagine what it's like. You're trying to describe it. You're trying to feel it. You're trying to pretend it. You're trying to catch the vibrational essence of it. It's an emotional journey. It's an emotional journey. Would you call yourself an emotional person? Mm-hmm. Would people who know you call you that?
The ones that really know me, but I definitely come at a very intellectual level, but there's half a dozen people here.
There is nothing more delicious than an intellectually focused asker and an emotionally willing listener. Best combination in the world, because your mind keeps you asking, and then your quest for relief and joy and feeling good helps you soften. Very good. Really, really good.
Yes, very, very good.
So, you ask for more money, it's been summoned. You ask for more clarity, it too has been summoned. You ask for specifics like houses and cars and people and relationships and better feeling everything. And as you've been asking with detail because of the contrast that you've been living, this vortex is spinning and drawing to it all things necessary. And once you have an experience that causes you to expand to a new place, you can't keep beating the drum that isn't keeping up with the expansion that life has given you. You've got to keep up with the expansion that life has given you, or you're not going to feel good. So every emotion you feel is about the vibrational relationship between where you are in the moment of the feeling, with the thoughts you're thinking right here in your beautiful physical body, and who you really are, who you have become. So here is this vibrational escrow, this veritable vortex with law of attraction summoning all components necessary for the full realization and manifestation of everything that you've been asking for. What a pot is cooking here. It is magnificent. And if you are feeling despair, you are so far from this vibration or escrow that even its existence is annoying to you. If someone else, you see them living what's in your escrow that you're not living, you find yourself not liking them at all. in your despair or anger or revenge or judgment or hatred, you feel terrible. You are so far from this vibrational escrow. Now, the thing that's very interesting about that is, over here in this contrasting experience, as you get a whiff of that, as you see someone else maybe living some of it, and then you realize that you're not, you have a stronger stream of negative emotion, which causes you to launch a stronger than ever rocket of desire. So you just ask for more, but as you hold your negative ground and don't go, you feel worse still.